Be brief, lest that the process of thy kindness last longer telling than thy kindness date.
Then know that from my soul I love thy daughter.
My daughter's mother thinks it with her soul.
What do you think?
That thou dost love my daughter from thy soul. So from thy soul's love didst thou love her brothers.
Not so hasty to confound my meaning. I mean that with my heart I do love thy daughter, and do intend to make her Queen of England.
Well, then, who dost thou mean shall be her king?
Even he that makes her queen, who else should be?
What, thou?
Even so. How think you of it?
How canst thou woo her?
Well, that would I learn of you, as one being best acquainted with her humor.
And wilt thou learn of me?
Madam, with all my heart.
Send to her by the man that slew her brothers a pair of bleeding hearts. Thereon engrave Edward and York. Haply she will weep. Therefore present to her, as sometime Margaret did to thy father, steeped in Rutland's blood, a handkerchief, which say to her did drain the purple sap from her sweet brother's body. If this inducement move her not to love, send her a letter of thy noble deeds. Tell her thou madest away her uncle Clarence, her uncle Rivers, aye, and for her sake madest quick conveyance for the good Aunt Anne.
You mock me, madam. This is not the way to win your daughter.
There is no other way, unless thou couldst put on some other shape, and not be Richard, that hath done all this.
Look, what is done cannot be now amended. Men shall deal unadvisedly sometimes, which after hours gives leisure to repent. If that I did take the kingdom from your sons, to make amends, I'll give it to your daughter. If that I have killed the issue of your womb, to quicken your increase, I will beget mine issue of your blood upon your daughter. The loss you have is but a son being king, and by that loss your daughter is made queen. I cannot make you what amends I would, therefore accept such kindness as I can. What? We have many goodly days to see. The liquid drops of tears that you have shed will come again transformed to orient pearl. Go then, my mother, to thy daughter go. Make bold her bashful years with thy experience. Prepare her ears to hear a wooer's tale. Put in her tender heart the aspiring flame of golden sovereignty. Acquaint the princess with the sweet, silent hours of marriage joys. And when this arm of mine hath chastised the petty rebel, dull-brained Buckingham, bound with triumphant garlands will I come and lead thy daughter to a conqueror's bed, to whom I will retail my conquest won, and she shall be the sole victoress, Caesar's Caesar.
Were I best to say her father's brother would be her lord, or shall I say her uncle, or he that slew her brothers and her uncle? Under what title shall I woo for thee, that God, the law, my honor, and her love make seem pleasing to her tender years?
Infer fair England's peace by this alliance,
Which she shall purchase with still lasting war.
Say that I will love her everlastingly,
But how long shall that title ever last?
sweetly enforce unto her fair life's end,
But how long fairly, till her sweet life lasts?
so long as heaven and nature lengthens it.
So long as hell and Richard likes of it.
Your reasons are too shallow and too quick.
My reasons are too deep and dead, poor infants in their
Harp
grave.
not on that string, madam, that is past.
Harp on it still shall I, till heartstrings break.
Now, by God!
God's wrong is most of all. If thou didst fear to break an oath with him, the unity the king my husband made thou hadst not broken, nor my brothers died. If thou hadst feared to break an oath by him, the imperial medal circling now thy head had graced the tender temples of my child, and both the princes had been breathing. Here, which now two tender playfellows for dust, thy broken faith, had made the prey for worms. What canst thou swear by now?
The time to come.
That thou hast wronged in the time more past.
As I intend to prosper and repent, so thrive I in my dangerous affairs of hostile arms. Myself confound. Heaven and fortune, bar me happy hours. Day, yield me not thy light, nor night thy rest. Be opposite all planets of good fortune to my proceedings, if with dear heart's love, immaculate devotion, holy thoughts, I tender not thy beauteous, princely daughter. In her consists my happiness and thine. Without her follows to myself and thee, herself, the land, and many a Christian soul, death, destruction, ruin, and decay.
It cannot be avoided but by this. It will not be avoided but by this. Therefore, dear mother, I must call you so. Be the attorney of my love to her. Plead what I shall be, not what I have been. Not my deserts, but what I shall deserve. Urge the necessity and the state of times, and be not peevish, fond in great designs.
Shall I be tempted of the devil thus?
Aye, if the devil tempt you to do good.
Shall I forget myself to be myself?
Aye, if your self's remembrance wrong yourself.
Yet thou didst kill my children.
But in your daughter's womb I bury them, where in that nest of spicery they shall breed selves of themselves to your recomforture.
Shall I go win my daughter to thy will?
And to be a happy mother by the deed.
I go. Write to me shortly, and you shall understand from me her mind.
Bear her my true love's kiss, and so farewell. Relenting fool, with shallow changing woman.